Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank, starts now.
Good evening and welcome into Season Pass. Just like last week, I'm your host, Brian Cunningham. The next half hour, a full recap from Week 7 of the 2024 high school football season with highlights and scores from all across the Concho Valley. Plus, we're going to check in on Angelo State athletics, as well as a look around the country with what is making top sports headlines from this past week. And we're going to get started in our very own backyard with our very own Angry Orange. The Bobcats 3-2. On a 3-game win streak, the Rebels 1-4 as district plays finally here. JP Reyes to Aiden Serrano gets it to the half-yard line. Next play, 6-0 Rebels for the score. Legacy again. Aiden Serrano punches it in for the 2-point conversion. 8-0 Rebels. And Serrano for the big touchdown here. It's going to be untouched. 15-0 Rebels at this point. Central needing to flip the momentum. But Legacy Reyes is going to do exactly that for them. Interception to KSAN Rogers as he takes it back for a modest gain, giving Central that momentum swing. And Central quarterback English is going to send a pass off to Kasner. Resulted in a touchdown to bring the lead 15-6 after a failed 2-point try. Central in this game fighting. Unfortunately, Legacy is going to keep it rolling. Reyes to Caden Ellis, passing touchdown, 21-6 Rebels to extend the lead. And this one would be all over, 42-23. Lakeview enters Week 7 just before their Week 8 bye ahead of district play, looking to turn things around when it matters most. And they played host to the winless Brownfield Lions on homecoming night, a perfect time for that very first win going into that break. This matchup has happened since 1962. First play from scrimmage, Lakeview with a surprise onside kick to start the game, and it's going to end up into a touchdown to Ramirez over the middle midway through the first quarter. Lakeview back in the red zone. Wildcat here, and it's going to be Rios walking into the end zone. Still first quarter, 2 minutes to go. Lakeview starting to run away with this one. Alviso is going to find Braylon White in the back corner of the end zone. 19-0 Chiefs. Defensive side of the ball now. Brownfield facing 4th and goal at the 4-yard line. And Jeremiah Williams tries to muscle his way in, but cannot. Lakeview's defense holding strong for the stop. A little over 5 minutes to go before halftime. Alviso continues to shine, finding Christopher Rodella on the beautiful throw. 25-6 Lakeview at this point. That set the tone for the remainder of this one. Lakeview running away with it with the win Friday night. Final score 43-6. Now, TLCA has not had the most ideal start to their season. They entered district play 0-5 on the year, and they traveled to Sweetwater to face the 2-3 Mustangs fresh off of a bye week. Now, this is the first-time matchup for these two teams. The Eagles entered as 58-point underdogs and were handed an even tougher loss by Sweetwater, down 64 before half and 90-0 final score. Grape Creek entered district play Friday night after a season-high 70 points the week before against the TLCA Eagles. 2-4 on the season as they host the Coahoma Bulldogs. Bulldogs enter 4-1 on the season. The Eagles sitting at 2-4 looking to regroup. Second quarter action, Coahoma lead in 6-0. Grape Creek Sire Garcia ties it 6-6 at about the 16-yard touchdown right here. Conversion failed. Still in the second, Jaden Vineyard punches it for the short touchdown scamper. 12-6 at this point after the no-good PAT. Eagles pull even on a pretty touchdown connection from Daniel to Garcia, making it 12-12 late in the second. And Sire Garcia is going to add on a 2-point conversion to give Grape Creek 14-12 advantage with 6 left before intermission. With time running out in the first half, Noah White's bottled up on a kickoff return. Eagles lead 14-12 at the break. Final score in this one, 34-20, Grape Creek. The 7th-ranked Wallhawks traveled to face the winless Merkle Badgers to kick off their district play. Wall holds the overall record of this series at 7-1 through 8 games, and entering this matchup 5-1 on the season in the middle of a 4-game win streak. Wall headed into halftime up 28-7. Final score 48-7. Wall opens up district with a win. And the Brady Bulldogs traveled to Dublin on Friday night to face the Lions for a matchup. Now going into its 7th year in a row, Brady holds the all-time series record at 6-5 all-time and enter tonight's matchup 4-1 on the season, facing the winless Lions. Final score 34-31 in favor of Brady. Coming up next on Season Pass, we continue our coverage of high school football across the Concho Valley. Class 2A is up next when we return. Don't go anywhere. This is Season Pass. Welcome back into Season Pass. Class 2A is up next, and our next matchup saw the Colorado City Wolves, who have came to town to face the Cristobal Cougars. The Wolves enter this game 2-3 on the year. The Cougars 1-4 looking to regroup. Shotgun handoff to Manuel Rojas, and he is going to fight his way through an arm tackle, cross the line with vengeance for the early 6-0 lead Cougars. Manuel again with the handoff a few drives later, takes this one outside left and picking up the first down to extend the drive here in this matchup. Same drive a little bit later, shotgun snap to Stanton McLaughlin, keeps it himself, and he's going to take this one outside for the scramble for the first down leading into this snap. Quick strike from Stanton and the easy score over the middle. Cristobal up 2 scores at this point, and we would see the final score 42-14 Cougars. The Ozona Lions traveled to Reagan County to take on the Owls last night. These two teams have faced for 11 straight years and entering its 89th matchup all time. Both teams entered this matchup 4-1 on the season, and both were fresh off their bye week as they entered district play. And the Owls take down Ozona for week 1 of that district play, 42-28. The 9-ranked Mason Punchers moved back into the top 10 last week despite it being their bye week. They played host to Thorndale as the Bulldogs are ending this matchup 1-4 on the season. These two teams have only met one other time back in 2012, with the Punchers winning that contest, and Mason is going to continue that win streak. Now it's 64 straight district wins, 58-14 Friday night. The Sonora Broncos, who are 2-3 on the year, played host to the Forest Sand Buffaloes on Friday night. The Buffaloes entered that game looking for win number 1, while the Broncos were definitely going to try to prevent that happening at home. But again, a district rival at that, Sonora Broncos would walk away with the huge win, 52-0. The Miles Bulldogs entered their bye week in week 6, looking to rejuvenate and get back on track after dropping to 4-1 after that 4-game win streak to start the season. Friday night, they traveled to Albany for a tough matchup against the Lions, who've won all 8. And they're going to take a swing pass here, looking for space, and he is cut down at the line of scrimmage. Albany with the ball this time. Handoff to the back, cuts it up the middle, fighting off 2 tackles here for the first down run on 1st and 10. Albany drive would stall, and they would make a crucial mistake here on the punt as the snap goes past the punter, and Miles is going to recover at the 18-yard line for the momentum swing. Miles with the ball now, a pass over the middle, gets them close to the end zone to try to get things closer as they find themselves still down 27-8 at this point, and they would turn it into a touchdown as the quarterback rolls out to his right, and he's going to hit the flat receiver into the end zone for the touchdown. Extra point was good, and the score would then end up 27-15. Unfortunately, final score 47-15 in favor of Albany. El Dorado entered district play 2-3 on the season, and they traveled to face the Iran Braves, a tough opponent who currently are undefeated at 5-0, fresh off their bye week. The Braves hold the overall series record at 26-30-3 in a series that first started in 1937, and it would be all Braves in this matchup, 70-24. In a battle of the birds, the Sterling City Eagles kicked off their district play, traveling to Van Horn to face another Eagle. Both teams enter this matchup 2-3 on the season and have only played each other one other time in 2021, and it would be all Sterling City this game, 33-7 Friday night. And what feels like a lot of Eagles tonight already, I know, but we have just one more. The Junction Eagles travel to Center Point to face the Pirates on Friday night. The Eagles entered this matchup 4-1 on the year and in command of the series overall at 9-4-1. The Pirates entered this game 3-3, and it was 44-0 at halftime, and Junction kicks off district play with the 65-0 shutout. Coming up next on Season Pass, we're going to continue our coverage of high school football. Of course, Class 1A football is up next when we return with a few notable Concho Valley matchups. Don't go anywhere. This is Season Pass. Welcome back into Season Pass. Class 1A ball is up next, and our next matchup, it's actually a Concho Valley matchup. It saw the Erie and County Hornets traveling to take on Robert Lee. The Hornets entered this matchup 2-4 on the season. Robert Lee 4-2, fresh off of a big win last week, right into action, out the gate, a double pass to Brennan Sherwood, setting up the deep shot. Early score in this one for Robert Lee. The Hornets looking to answer back. The pitch outside to Colton Laudermilk. He's going to outrun everyone to tie this game. Look at that beautiful October sky in the background. And Robert Lee wasn't done. Another double pass, moves in the pocket, and a prayer shot back of the end zone, caught by Wyatt Bosworth. Robert Lee again, second quarter, another double pass, scans the field, dumps it off to Jackson Tavares for the score and the lead into halftime, 31-12. Robert Lee walks away with this one, opens up districts with the win, 61-12. Our final Concho Valley matchup of the night saw the winless Paint Rock Indians travel to face the 5-1 Very Best Falcons. This matchup is in its 10th straight meeting, with the Falcons holding the overall record all-time. Very Best with the kick return to open the game. The fans didn't have to wait long for the action to start. The kick would be taken all the way back by Hunter Tucker to put the Falcons up 6 early in this contest. Very Best with the ball. The next drive, a run to the left, and Bryce Martin takes this one to the house to extend the lead up 2 scores in the ensuing drive for the Falcons. And we have a highlight to show you here from Hunter Tucker. First a kick return touchdown, and now an outside run to the right, hurdles the man, and no one to catch him. This game gets put away very early by Very Best. They walk away with the 4-score lead at half and the win. Final score 57-0. Menard traveled to Leakey on Friday night to face the Yellow Jackets. Menard technically undefeated this season, the Eagles 4-2. Menard won this last year's matchup and holds the overall record at 9-1. The final score 44-36 in favor of Menard. Blackwell on Friday night traveled to Ofen to face the Mustangs. One of these winless teams is going to walk away with a new number in the column. Blackwell holds the overall series record at 2-0 as these two teams enter their third matchup against each other all time. And Blackwell with the commanding win, 66-0 Friday night. And for our final matchup in Class 1A, the Bront Longhorns traveled to Lorain to face the Bulldogs. 1948 was the year that this series kicked off, with the overall record at 18-12 as these two teams met for a third consecutive year. And in a very close matchup that came down to the end, Bront would pull away 62-61. Coming up next on Season Pass, Angelo State Athletics is up. I'll have the latest scores and highlights when we return. Welcome back into Season Pass. Let's switch things over to Angelo State. Angelo State had a full slate of games this weekend for only the second time this season. And we're going to start with the Rams over at LeGrand Stadium as the Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas came to town. Concho Valley crowd out here tonight with pink brought out in support of breast cancer awareness. And of course, we need the ladies to help us with this game's coin toss. Rams won the toss, deferred to the second half. Javelinas with the ball first, and right out the gate, the Rams secondary clocks in for the interception by Xavier Walton. Next drive for the Javelinas resulted in a blocked punt down to the 1, setting up this easy touchdown run by quarterback Braden Fuller to put the Rams up 7-0 early in this one. Still in the quarter, a pass over to the middle to Kel Williams for a 30-plus yard gain and the score. Rams up 14-0 at this point. And in the second quarter, again, another quick pass. Fuller to Williams, part 2. Rams go up 20-0 after a blocked PAT and would walk away with the huge shutout win on the back of quarterback Braden Fuller's 5-touchdown game. 1 on the ground, 4 through the air. Rams win 38-0. Let's transition now to Angelo State Soccer, who had 2 games this past week. Wednesday's matchup saw them on the road facing the Texas A&M International Dust Devils with a scoreless match for the first 89 minutes of this game. Abby James became the savior as she puts in a last-second goal to propel the Bells to a win. They improved to 5-1-3 on the season after this game. Game 2 for the Ram Bells this week. Family Day today at the LeGrand Soccer Complex. The crowd in full support. First half, 29th minute, ASU draws first blood. Kaylee Meyer rolls this one and sneaking it past the goalkeeper. Second half now, 63rd minute. ASU striking again as Grace Jordan buries this one in the back of the net. Assisted by Madison Maxey, 2-0 right now in favor of the Bells. But ASU was not done dominating. The Bells scored once more. This time, Holly Harwood finds the back of the net, putting the game away. And goalkeeper Amber Lockwood was phenomenal again on Saturday, recording her 8th shutout in 10 games this season as the Bells improved to 6-1-3. Let's switch things over now to the court, but we're going to stay with the Bells. ASU volleyball also had 2 games this past weekend. Friday night saw the ladies host Texas A&M International. The Bells were finally back home in front of the Concho Valley crowd Friday, a full month away before last night. The crowd was given a great match. After dropping the first set, the Bells showed their potential and dominance, taking the next 3 sets to close out the win 3-1. Maddie Parrish with her second 20 or more kill game this year, and Adeline Ortman tied her career high of 54 assists in a 4-set match. The Bells' second match of the weekend included Texas A&M Kingsville coming to town. We're going to take you midway through the first set. Rams have gained some momentum after a slow start. Javelinas with the serve. Kaylee receives the serve. Ferguson sets it up, and a hard spike by Hannah Spencer. Point to the Bells. Another serve by the Javelinas. Ferguson receives this one. The setup by Adeline Ortman, and Maddie Parrish with the heater. Point ASU. Parrish again with the serve. This one can't be returned by the Javelinas. Again, another point for the Bells. Javelinas with the serve again for the Bells. Dramatic match point right here. Kaylee serves it up. Ortman sets it up. Demi Carter taps it over. Saved by the Javelinas. Returned by Kaylee. Another setup. And Evelyn Torres with the tap over. Thornton's going to receive this one. Ortman's going to set it up again. Demi Carter with the hard spike. Another save by the Javelinas. And instead of the spike, Ortman's going to, again, fake set here. She's going to give the point to the Bells. Bells win the first set 25-20, sweeping the match 3-0. And also shout out Evelyn Torres, reached 1,000 career kills for the Bells. To conclude Angelo State sports tonight, the duo of Avery Durham and Eva Schwartz placed second in the ITA Cup over the weekend. After dropping the first set, the pair would battle back, winning set 2, but would fall in the third and final set to take home silver. The Rambells' fall season is officially over and will begin their new season January 31st. It's now time for everybody's favorite Cowboys insider, Mickey Spagnola, with the Cowboys-Lions post-game recap from earlier Sunday. Mickey?
So how bad was it? Lions 47, Cowboys 9. Let me count the ways. The Detroit Lions scored on 9 consecutive possessions, and the Cowboys didn't stop the Lions on downs until 4:23 was left in the game. And it wasn't until the Lions used a backup quarterback and a backup running back. That was the most points the Cowboys have given up in a single game since giving up 49 points to Cleveland in 2020. And that's the first time the Cowboys haven't scored a touchdown in a game since the season opener in 2022 when Tampa Bay beat them 19-3. The other bad part about this game, the Cowboys lost the turnover differential by 5. They turned the ball over 5 times and got no takeaways. So it wasn't going to turn out well. Look, going into this game, you know the Cowboys were going to have problems. They had 5 defensive starters not playing because of injuries. And as I said before the game, and Mike McCarthy said the same thing, we needed to score points. And the Cowboys absolutely didn't do that. On the first 2 possessions, they drove into the red zone, kicked a field goal, and then turned the ball over with an interception. And after that, basically, it was all over. For the Silver Star Nation, I'm Mickey Spagnola here on a Sunday at AT&T Stadium.
Coming up next on Season Pass, a city fights back after the cancellation of their football season. We have more on that story and more when Season Pass returns. An incident has left a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania city fighting back after the possibility of canceling the local football season. Chris Hoffman has that story.
According to the football players and their parents, not only is this game postponed, but football operations as a whole are postponed, meaning they can't even organize and practice right now. A normal Friday night has the sound of the band, roar of the cheerleaders, and crunch of a tackle. But it'll be all quiet tonight at Ringgold High School.
It's not fair to us, not only the football players, but the cheerleaders, the band players, everybody else who's involved in Friday night. They're just taking it away from us, and it's not fair.
According to the superintendent, the alleged incidents were serious in nature. His statement goes on to say safety and well-being is a top priority. Parents and athletes say there's a group chat with the players and a few videos were shared months ago. They argue while the videos may not be the best behavior, it's far from anything that should shut down the season.
It's stuff that you say, like, stop it, knock it off. Exactly. It's not stuff that you cancel a game over.
I've saw nothing more than a bunch of boys fooling around and absolutely nothing criminal.
Now, over the phone, the superintendent tells us he wants a complete investigation. The head coach is not being fired, and the district hopes to finish out their season. Last night, some players and parents protested the decision by the school district. The superintendent tried to address some of their concerns.
As of right now, we can't do nothing at all related to football.
The parents and athletes argue if there's a problem, punish those involved, not the whole team. They claim that is how it has been handled with other school sports. With a handful of games left, they are concerned about memories like homecoming and senior rec being lost, and some players missing out on college scholarships, including at least one that was supposed to happen tonight.
That's life-changing for somebody tonight, just in itself. That offer's not going to be there because that game's not going to be played.
According to the Whitfield, they are not investigating, but if the game is not made up, this will be a forfeit win for TJ. In Carroll Township, Washington County, Chris Hoffman, KDKA-TV News.
And this week's Player of the Week has to go out to the Sonora Broncos quarterback, Aaron Segura. Segura put up 23 of 36, 433 through the air, and 6 touchdowns. It was an amazing performance that helped the Broncos in their shutout win over KSAN 52-0 on Friday night. And before we get to that, and before we get to our goodbye, we're going to take one last look at the Dr. Pepper Trivia Challenge from the past weekend. Prior to Friday night, how many consecutive district games has Mason currently won? This sweepstakes winner this week is Rebecca Lozano. Congrats, Rebecca, on the $20 gift card. We run this contest every week, new winner. And that's going to wrap up here for Season Pass. You can check out all our content over at the Concho Valley homepage. You can also follow us on Twitter at KLST Sports. Make sure you use the hashtag Season Pass to stay in that conversation. As always, it is never goodbye. It's just until next week. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I'm Brian Cunningham. Good night, Concho Valley.
Thank you for watching Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank. For more in-depth stories, scores, and highlights, head to ConchoValleyHomepage.com. For more on today's stories, visit ConchoValleyHomepage.com. Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick DeHoyos.